Alright folks, it's a new week, got a new game here for you. This one was played yesterday by a few of my friends, let me know about it and said it's quite a long game so it might be worth doing for the channel. So here it is in all its glory. On this map we've got Savannah, so it's just full of food. You can see all the fambas, the cadus and nerfs. There's even berries that spawn around the command center as well, so that there's not really any reason to be getting the farms on for quite some time. There's also ponds that spawn here. It's a quite good shore fish here for some of the players. You can even get some utility trawlers there, and it's like having an extra command center if you play it right. So, on the top side of the map, we've got RVA, the red Gungans, and his pocket, Fry Up on the blue Confederacy. And rounding things up for them, we've got Brat on the purple Naboo here on the wing. Now, opposite Brat, his opponent here is Frost in the orange Naboo. We've got the yellow Gungans, played by Yoda. And then on the other wing, we have Raphael on the grey Confederacy. So it looks like they've mirrored their civs, so they've all got the same civs for each team. So they can't have any sort of civ imbalances like some guys got rebels and no person can make a strike mech ever. So lots of food, nerfs and stuff, lots of fambas that some players can get onto as well. It looks like Fryup's probably got the best access because this is just like a massive herd of fambas. And each one of these is worth 250 food. Really good if you can make good use of them. Give you a huge benefit. RV at the same time, he's got these little shore fish that you can get on. Those little Gungan lads diving into the pond, fetching fish. And there's even some on this side as well, so this is just a little bit faster than eating berries, so it's definitely worth doing if you can. You can see there's so many different food options that you get a bit of diversity in what the players are actually doing to get their food. And there's certain things like maybe the long distance famba is just a little bit better because there's the nerfs as well to supplement those little gaps in the income. So it can sort of tide you over and keep a worker being built while you wait for those guys to deliver like a... So it looks like Brat's made a carbon processor, that's good. You don't want to see him going like troop center first or anything like that. There is a nursery though, so he could still be mounting, he loves to mounty. Yoda as well, a player that loves to go for the early mounties, even in the pocket. So everybody should be anxious about that, considering there's a nursery and nerfs. Because it means they're basically halfway there, because it's the prerequisite building for making mounties at the troop centre. It's a nice little Gungan, little clearing bit here that he's got this carbon processor in. Seems like they get a decent arc there, maybe not on the right hand side, but I imagine these workers are actually going to walk quite a short distance to deposit, so it could be a little bit more efficient than what some of the other players are getting. Raphael here dropping a troop centre already, looks like he's maybe going for the early mounties. We have a look on the other wing here. Not really anything out of Frost as such. It's quite a wee while he's walking there for this famba. Be quite good to have a food processor here maybe. Brat's dropped some farms. Good news for Frost there. Doesn't mean there's going to be any mounting aggression out of him. And the Fryup's eating some of these fambas as well. Let's speed up a little bit because you know what T1's like. Now this is interesting from RVA, maybe a bit dangerous as well since he's already dropping carbon onto the food processors. To go for a shipyard and start making the trawlers early. I think he's maybe thinking he can get a nice little wall off here as well, and then this risk that he's taking can pay off for him. Because if you have a look, there's not too much to wall off here, but the mounties are going to arrive much quicker than he can get that down. So the scout being so aggressive should have been a bit of a telltale sign that this is coming as well. I do imagine he's probably scouted it with his scout because he's bringing his back now from his base. It would have been quite easy to see this. They're going to have to do a lot of dancing around. Seems to have made a medic. He's thinking maybe you can heal his workers from the mounting aggression. You certainly can't repair them since they're biological units. But he's let these two mounties get on top of his troopers and they've got such quick DPS that they can kill them very quickly. Kind of need like about 3 or 4 troopers critical mass to just sort of guarantee that you're going to kill the Mounties. And then if you can kill one, you can kite backwards and you can basically kill 2, kill 3. So it's much more difficult for them to wrap around the units. But there's 4 Mounties out. I don't think he needs to really make any more. He's forced RVA to make a troop centre, make all these troops. He can sit back and focus on his own economy, getting his own food income set up, and then just go into T3. The longer he can keep his Mounties alive, the longer he can keep the troops at home for RVA and stop them counter-attacking and punishing him for his rush not getting like too much damage. So by him at this point, it's more just he's guaranteed the damage by him making all these units and dropping the troop centre himself. Extra farms being put down. Tech buildings for Yoda, he'll just be going T3. Rat as well, going T3. Fry up seems to be running a little bit behind in his tech time, but he will be going T3 as well. Oh, it seems he had a power droid here, try to power the shipyard to make the trawlers, and it's just been sniped. So Raphael been really annoying with these Mounties. It's good stuff, that's what he needs to do, just to make sure these guys don't become troopers and wander over and cause him problems. Now, he is doubling down on the rush. He's getting his second troop centre rather than going for the T3. Not sure I kind of like this move, just because RVA's pretty much shown him that he's just going to wall. And I don't think RVA is that aggressive as a player in T2 either. It could be anxiety about the troops maybe counter-attacking. He might feel a little bit behind in terms of his food here, because he's only got quite a few farms. Probably like, well, it's less than 10 nerfs or so. So he wouldn't be able to quite tech up yet, so maybe he just doesn't want to feel too vulnerable and die. I think these lads are maybe looking to maybe make a turret. I actually don't think there's really any good angles for a turret. Maybe over here at max. The problem is he's walled himself. He's got good. He could just put another carbon processor here. But the turret's great in this instance. It's because of how thick this forest is. So Yoda hitting T3, Brat hitting T3. So the aggression should start out of those players. They might start getting involved in these wing antics. But you can see the wall's been dropped now, and the Mounties certainly know the way round, but it's a long way to go while RV looks to go T3. And Raphael's still making troops as well, so I don't know if these guys are going to go for the turret or not. Such a long way to have to walk around, and you can see RV's extending the wall while he waits for those units to come over. He could definitely complete it. He's spending a lot on this. I say it's perhaps not even necessary given his own standing army of troops. It'll be good for him, I guess, in T3, stop any strikes getting in. So he's almost T3. The buildings have to be dropped for Raphael here. These guys won't be able to get anything done. Now on the other side of things, strike mechs start to be thrown out here from Brat and from Yoda. Brat sent a lot of his out to his wing to be aggressive, but Yoda's just come straight for him. He's looking to slow him down. He's only on the 1 mech factory. Quite a lot of upgrades for both players. But with so many strikes there, I'm going to ramp up on the damage. So he's had to make a mech destroyer to defend himself there, which has given Frost a bit of a break, but it looks like the damage is already done because Frost has made 2 mech destroyers. It's probably one more than you should really make there, because he hasn't got in the second command center yet. RVA going for 2 mech factories here, pumping out strike mechs. He could definitely afford it in this instance because he's got the little, supplementary income of the fishing and such. He's got so many workers just dedicated to bringing in the carbon. It's a little bit crap for his units to have to walk all the way right round the pond once they've been built. It's an annoying place for the gate. Might be better to get one out here. Or over here. Over here is probably better. So Frost pushing out with his mech destroyers, which is kind of risky because they're not really going to do any damage. And if he loses them, he's super vulnerable. And you can't really afford to replace them because he needs another command center. If we look at his economy as well, he's not got too many workers on the carbon. He's got quite a few on Nova, quite a few on Ore. He desperately needs to be getting more command centers down. He even made a third mech destroyer. He's just really putting himself behind. Because there's not any threat. Like, he can come in and he can maybe snipe a mech destroyer or two, but he doesn't have any strike mechs to follow it up. There's a second command center now, but I'd say it's a bit late. RVA is getting his strikes out now and looking to try and punish Raphael here. He's dropped the second command center. He's got a mech destroyer out. Unfortunately, where he's placed his farms, they're a little bit exposed. But with 2 mech destroyers now, there's not really going to be much that these strikes can do to him until there's a lot more of them and they've got upgrades. He has dropped an airbase to make some fighters to maybe harass, but there is a bit of anti-air out here for RVA. Not an awful lot though, but it is just 1 airbase, so it's not really going to overwhelm the troops too quickly. RVA forced to move towards the pocket now because of the mech destroyers that Raphael's built. And there's great upgrades for Yoda, so I'll be able to clean these up very easily with that mech destroyer. Now they still try to do these aggressive moves against Brat, but there's not really that much threat with it. Because he's got good upgrades, he's got the defender's advantage as well, so like if he makes new mechs, they're going to arrive to that fight super quickly. They are forcing him to garrison a bit, it's quite annoying, but I don't know if it's worth it for Frost if he gets counterattacked. And you see RVA's arrived here now with his Gungan strike mechs. And these workers have nothing to defend themselves because, well, all the mech destroyers are over here. They're even being rallied over here. He's lucky that Yoda's chased these strikes in with his mech destroyer. This is taking the pressure off of Brat here as well and made this attack not that worth it for them. You see the players settle down a bit on this side and drop some more command centers. And then try to catch up on what they've lost with the aggression. These guys are running through these lone troops, which don't really have any relevance anymore, but they're spotting units coming forward for Raphael there, letting him know that these strikes are on the way. Mech Destroyer is asleep though. He didn't receive the information from these guys, so these lads are going to have to garrison after one of them falls. See that the Ayers tried to get in from Raphael, but I don't know if there's been too much damage done. Maybe a worker's died here on this farm. He has dropped anti-air turrets now as well. I'm starting to grab up some resources. So everyone's chilling now, focusing on their eco, except Frost for some reason has made all these mech destroyers and is going for it again. But as he moves out, Brat is pushing forward. He has built this turret though, which is going to help him here, but you can just go around the turret. He's actually sending his mech destroyers over to the pocket. Interesting. I do think he'd be better off just these being like 2 command centers really. Or at least staying at home, because Brat has smelt the sort of vulnerability here. You can see he's queued up a heavy weapons factory. He's unfortunately losing a few mechs to this turret. He's not respecting it. Didn't really need to push in there at all. Just wait and get his heavy weapons factory set up, and then the artillery can start going at it. These mech destroyers, however, have decided not to go to the pocket, and since Brat's units are all there, they're just going to head on over. Now, Brat is at a disadvantage that he's only got 1 mech factory, whereas Frost has 2. So Frost can eventually build enough units to defend himself, whereas Brat is going to have a hard time. You can see he has to garrison here, so he maybe has to make some... I think the correct move would just be to make some Mounties, really, and then send like 2 or 3 of them out of here. Maybe 1 Mech Destroyer. But you don't want to send the Mech Destroyer on its own, because these guys can just snipe it in sort of 1 shot. There's a lot of time that he's not mining here. But there doesn't seem to be much units being made at home. Just the 4 Mech Destroyers there, they're just chilling. And they're letting Brad get all this set up. So here's a Mountie coming out now. You can see it's getting some good damage, and it takes a while for the Mech Destroyers to deal with it. I think you definitely want 2 or 3 of them out and then send them together. That way with the DPS, there's less chance that they die before getting as much damage out as possible. They have split themselves up though, which makes it very difficult to deal with this. So, RV on the other hand sending some strikes over, prodding from the other side. He's actually just about to kill this strike mech. As Frost looks to raid a bit more. I think he's maybe trying to keep his Mech Destroyers up by bringing these strikes over. Keep Brat's economy suffering there. Shields have been dropped on this side. This turret has just worked wonders for Frost. Like, it's really strengthened this position. In fact, it's been so effective he's going to build a second one. Isn't it strange to see the Naboo players being so aggressive to one another, rather than just booming and going T4 air? Research Centre being dropped, hopefully just for tracking, not for air shenanigans. It's kind of, you don't tend to want to go T4 air when you've been forwarded. And this pummels. Look at the damage these lads are doing though. This pummel is just a waste of time. I think it would have to be artillery here. Even a medium turret upgrade. He's really going for the turrets here. So RV's discovered he can build all his houses here, which is great. Save him some space. These lads don't want anything to do with each other. They're just going to wall each other. RV is starting to amass units on the border though. Dropping a fort here. Not being too ambitious with a fort. Maybe just wants to have a strong position in the sort of the centre there. I guess there's some Nova here that you can secure. As this wall gets dropped. The other side of things, heavy troopers from the Naboo. They don't get much upgrades for them. Not the best. But I guess it's a cheap way for him to make some units to strengthen his Mech Destroyers. But Yoda's sent a lot of heavy Mech Destroyers over here, so Brat's just given up and wandered off. Things do seem to be getting a bit dicey for him at home, because again, he's still just got that 1 mech factory, and there's so many mechs being rallied to him. Frost has almost said, keep your units here, that's great, I'm just going to rally mine into your base. So the fort's up, the units are amassed, a few A-mobiles joining in there. Probably be better if Yoda just sent his units over, while Brat's vulnerable just now. Fry-up's not quite set up to support him. I think they'd be good to get a forward themselves here. But somebody really needs to grab up this part of the map. If you look at all the resources that are there, it's sort of the centre of the map, you sort of got your choice of where you can push on Savannah. Because everyone's sort of got these little passageways through the forest, so having that sort of element of map control means you can push exactly where you want and tear your opponents apart. Now Raphael on his side of the border is getting these artillery out. Confed get really nice artillery. Got like a good, I think they get like a rate of fire upgrade, which is really nice. Yoda not up to too much other than the units that he's got here. Well, he does drop some heavy weapons factories. He's going to rally some catapults over as well. That's nice. They just need to get set up in this area because this choke's really annoying and they want to be on the other side of it. They don't ever want to be in a situation where they're getting gate kept here. It would be much better for them if they just got this area, as I said before, in the map control and then pushed from there. because it means that Barat and Fryup are sort of boxed in this area. It also means it can't really counter-attack because of this choke, and then they've got the turrets in the fort here. So these guys overextending and just taking so much damage. There's a shield drop down now as well. They need to strengthen this position, and these units take so long because of the tiny little choke they've got to go through. The force is amassed here. Very big forest here in the way. You could make a mockery of this wall by just catapulting the trees around it. The artillery arrives, but there's no shield yet, and these guys are taking a trade while there's less units here. Got a decent unit arc, but they've got some big artillery shots. Shield drops now, that's not good for them. It means the artillery are going to get so many more shots off. You see the damage really adding up now. But again, just the one mech factory. Struggling for unit production here. Does seem to have a lot of workers, it just his infrastructure doesn't reflect his economy. Be nice to maybe just get a few mech factories built here. Looks like he's almost thinking about sacking his base. Not good. This big Gungan death ball's been found. Air cruiser here. Maybe gonna kill some carbon to get a better unit arc. But if you look at all the artillery here that's been produced by Raphael, I didn't realise the scores were like that. This AC got a nice shot here, but they do have the shield, so it's not too much damage. But the AC is definitely the right move in this kind of this choke. I think he maybe needs to save a bit of time as well, because he needs to get some units out to stop any sort of mounty damage to this. Both players get good troops and good mounties. You see Raphael killing some of the forest now. And that Famba, what a monster. On the other side of things, we try to push and get more of this land, kill more of Brat's base here. Be nice to get another shield. And then just grab up more of the land, have another area where you can push in 3 different angles, left, top, right. And just slowly cut this area of the map off. It's almost interesting to wonder, if you look down here, RV could honestly just push down here. It's completely open. And he could just keep his ACs here and stop the units pushing. But instead we're denying each other carbon here, we're killing this forest. Creating a very long battlefield. It'll certainly at the moment be better for RV if you can get another shield over here. And if he manages to get forward onto the artillery, they're going to struggle because of the units, because of the buildings are going to block the path. Like, see how much they're balling up there. It'll definitely be one of the times that you want to be going for the ACs. And Raphael doesn't have any like anti-AC stuff just now. You can see he's building these turrets and he's maybe rushing to get the advanced turret upgrade. But look, there again the units are balling up. It's very dangerous. On the other side of things, a lot of units out here from Yoda. Push just seems to be all Yoda at the moment. There's some air out for Frost, so he's maybe supporting with the air. Looking to be annoying with those. And it's going to be tricky for me to watch both of these fights at the same time and catch everything. The AC's lining up. Brass managed to pull his units back now. And you see these A-mobiles are just coming forward one at a time. Try to snipe. They get really good range on them. See, they've got 13 range, which is just one more range than the air cruiser. RV could have more shields here. And I think both players could have turrets. There's the first turret, that's nice. And these guys have been... It's like really bad pathing from... Oh, they've walked forward as well. What are they doing? It's like he's like clicked attack round, but they've got no shots, and they're just sitting there and just dying. It's not worth losing them. Even if you see the units and you can't get good value, you should just keep them for the threat that they offer. He was trying to kill the shield with them, which is not great. But what he could have done is gone round this side and then abused the forest. So now, with all those ACs dead, Raphael's emboldened, and he's going to push up back into that position again. And they're going to have to do a lot of babysitting, because artillery are a bloody nightmare to micro. On the other side of things, Yoda is just throwing units out, and he's slowly just pumping these guys, because he's got much better mechs. A lot of Confederacy mechs, but as you can see over here, this is the way that you kind of want to play Confederacy, get the artillery. And you want to supplement them with the troopers, because they get some really nice troopers. Oh, big shot there. A lot of artillery dying. A-mobiles coming forward and sniping it. Oh, they're going to get this one. Air coming over here as well, killing this air cruiser. So it doesn't look like there's going to be much more air cruisers out of RVA. It feels like he's hemorrhaging Nova now at this point. You can see that they've finally taken the centre of the map. RVA's trying to stop it with this little group of units, but this fort does go up. They've killed a command centre here, I'm assuming. These guys have a command centre right next to each other, just mining the same ore. Not a care in the world. Somebody's pinged it. This guy's not with us. Put an end to it. I think some grenadiers would be nice here for Raphael. He's maybe got the phobia of making any troops at the moment just because of the tendency for this man to have so many air cruisers, but I think he's been scarred for life from building air cruisers. Some nice little disposable units to get in there and do a bit of damage. Air out of Brat here, and some Jedis being sent over to be annoying. I think the Jedis are better suited, to be honest, just sort of supporting the two fronts. Maybe like steal a turret or two. So Arby is just sitting on the shields here. Frost again is coming over looking for air cruisers, I guess, but they're just losing all this. A lot of pinging here. I think they're going to set up spaceports for trade. They don't really want to do it down here. This forest's kind of in the way. And then it's too close to this battle as well, where they seem to be getting pushed back quite a lot here. There just doesn't seem to be enough on the ground to ever deter Yoda, and he's just taken a lot of ground. These cannons are just completely unmolested, and are just killing whatever they can shoot at. On the other side of things, it looks like a big battle has started here. It's not looking good for RVA. You can see so many units are getting stacked up there, and they're fighting units within shields. Taking a ton of damage. Raf could definitely get another shield here and extend this area. Good for him. Definitely got the superior sort of area of effect, I would say. He's putting a few assault mechs here to sort of help out the artillery. They're fairly durable as well, so they can tank a few more hits. These A-mobiles running forward, I don't know if he's just maybe thinking that there's an air cruiser coming forward. Just try to play ahead of it. Both guys are just going to pull back now and not want to come in. At the same time, Brat just over here killing their trade. Nothing really stopping him. I think Frost threw away a lot of his air here into RV's army. So he needs to build up a little bit before he can take this fight on. Yoda again is still pushing up, though this time he is fighting without a shield, but he does knock down their shield generator, so it doesn't mean too much. Could bring these units forward though, they're desperately needed there on the front. Frost finally clearing up that air now. So we're already 30 minutes in, it doesn't look like this game's ending anytime soon. And it's very well suited for a late game as well, just because there's so much carbon on the map, despite Raphael and RV's efforts here. Murdering the trees. Don't know what these lads are up to, but the units have inadvertently given him access to RVA's base, so I think these lads might just run in. I would hope that they would. Because these units are gonna be so out of position. All they could actually do is run through here. He'd have to delete his own walls. Run in. Go, go, go. Now, if he chases it that way, you just area of effect his army. Don't let him do this. Kill them all. Some good shots there. Oh, such... Yeah, we saw this coming. His only play there really was delete this wall and run through. And these guys are just dead, and now he's going to sit on top of his farms. And at the same time, Frost running some troopers over, but they're not the best troopers, they're just heavy mounted. And the shields here. And it's not really coordinated with the push here either. And I don't think Raphael has enough units here to actually be pushing on the army. What he's got going on is these mech destroyers in the economy. So reinforcements have arrived to clean this up a bit. That has caused it. More Mounties just being thrown to their deaths. I mean, you're Naboo as well. Make Crusaders. You get this special unit that is like a mounted trooper on crack. Just build it. Yoda pushing through here. Dropping the turrets to support his army. More shields. It's good stuff. Pretty much guaranteeing that they've just... You see he's pushed all the way up here. This is all theirs now. And they can drop more infrastructure. They can eat up all this Nova that they've taken off of Brat. Fry up again with the mech destroyers. It's not the best sort of unit composition for the Confederacy, I wouldn't say. I think the troopers and the artillery are a lot better. Grenadiers could do a lot of damage to this. And the threat of Mounties as well. Force your opponent to make strike mechs. You're basically forcing a situation where you're one-to-one on units, but his are much better. That air cruiser's skulking off. Oh! Down he goes. The 13 range, man. It's nuts. Don't know if you watched my latest video. Yeah, the free-for-all one, where we didn't get that upgrade for the Wookiees, so they kind of sucked. Try to chase down the air cruisers. Cheeky medium turret here from RVA. I like it. I think one or two of them would be nice here in his farms. Keep them safe. I think what these guys really need is some anti-air turrets sprawling across the trade, because Frost is just sitting here and just killing all of their cargo hovercrafts. And nobody's stopping him. But at the same time, it seems Brat's doing the same thing. There's some sort of mutually shared destruction here when it comes to the trade. But Frost does have some air there that could clean this up. And they're each passively aggressive, pinging this stuff to each other rather than sending anything to deal with it. I imagine it's the same on the other team. Tons of cargo hovercrafts now. Ping it again and they're going. There's some air arrived from Brat to try and clean this up now. At the same time, Frost's going to do the same thing on the other side of the map. So there's a lot of cargo hovercrafts needing to be rebuilt. Right, Brat in the second wave will clean this up now. Oh, there's still a couple though, being annoying. But they kill them really quickly, don't they? RV still looking to try and push through here. It's really interesting that he's just never like created a little unit sortie and gone down here. It'd be really difficult for Raphael to like get his units out of that position down here. You'd maybe build like mech destroyers and try to hold it with those. Jedi being annoying, but he will go down in a second. If this guy can aim. Well, those shots went absolutely wide. So Yoda is meeting a bit of resistance at this point. Mainly because of the terrain. It's difficult for his catapults to be relevant here, or his artillery. They just look like catapults, don't they? They are catapults. These bombers are really going to help though. So Frost bringing all these bombers over with some fighters to escort them, and there's not really going to be much the mech destroyers can do against that. There's no turrets or anything. A few AA mobiles here from RVA that were sent to desperately try and save the trade from the great culling. A big trade from these guys into one another, but it seems RVA's knocked down the shields. However, he's not got too many units here within the shields. So if Raphael can kill these quickly without suffering too much losses himself. Yeah, he's pushing forward a bit. Just need some more reinforcing units. Not too much going on there. Very bold movement from Yoda here. Walking that far out of his shield. And what he could have done as well is just micro his artillery and kill the trees. Create a path. Let's say I'm going to sit on top and kill these. There's only a few A-mobiles there. And they do quite decent damage to the artillery, so this is an overextension with these units. Night Destroyers are just getting free shots as they run away. Raphael reinforced a bit, but he needs the shield up for himself. Kinda needs to create a big arc for his units. The wider you can make the battle, the less effective the artillery will be. Brat and Frost chasing each other's air. Brat's certainly got the superior numbers there. He's absolutely going to win that trade. And these artillery are going to be completely exposed. Could suffer some big losses here. Wow. How many will this man kill? God, he's still chasing them, he's got no fear. Wow, finally went down. Another shield here. It's very nice, just making sure that even when his units wander forward, they're going to be okay. Now, there doesn't seem to be any like cannons out of Raphael. So he's almost encouraging this at the moment. Because he could definitely have a safe angle on this one. Let's try to hit it with the artillery. Brat, the first player to maybe realise that there is a pathway here. Sending some strikes over. But there are some mech destroyers here to meet him. Oh, but they've wandered out there. Almost ran past them. Ships passing in the night. Yoda's regrouped here at his shield and they've dropped some turrets to defend themselves from the air. These strike mechs are going to look to get some more kills on the cargoes, get some worker kills maybe. Very long distance mining for these lads. I think Raphael had to spend every waking second microing this army. I hope he's grabbed these holocrons actually, considering this is such a long game. Here, cleaning up a little push I think. And at this point, Fry-Up is trying to hold desperately, but it's just he's just funneling mech destroyers into area of effect units, with not even that great stats. It's just hemorrhaging here. He's not really getting like any kills really, but he's suffering like 5-1 losses. This fight's still going on, but it does look like RV is starting to get the better of it here. Mainly just because he's got all these shields. A lot of anti-air turrets here. I can push from this position. Certainly got the much better mech destroyers as well to meet shield for the army. And that's even further exaggerated by the shields doubling the HP pool. Yoda maybe pushing up a little bit too quickly again. Frost has managed to get the shield down, but they're running out of anti-air here. All those fighters going down. And here comes some Jedi now from Brat. So the assault mechs are pretty much a no-no at this point. There's no point making those because they're just going to get converted. RV is really getting through here now. And these units have just not got a good position to stand in. They don't have a shield at the moment. So this artillery is about to just go ham on everything here. And a lot of this seems to be Raphael's infrastructure as well. He's built a couple of mech factories over here. But he needs to get a new position where he can hold this army. Don't know what these guys were planning to do. Maybe just intercept strikes coming over. And I think this army is going to meet quite a bit of resistance with these Jedi out in the field now. Because it's almost gearing up to be a bit of a base trade. So this side pushing through, no one can really stop it, and this side, no one can really stop it. So both sides need to stabilise and try to hold this side as long as possible. Trade's looking active once again for both teams. Where are the shields? Here we go. That'll really help. All these buildings are in the way and stopping the units getting into good positions where they can fire, whereas RV has got no problem with that, because there's nothing there in the way, other than his own shield generators. This position looking held quite well. He's still making these assault mechs though, when these Jedi are out in the field. They're just going to get converted every time. It's a waste. Better to go with the artillery. More air out of Frost here. More bombers and fighters. I don't know if he's maybe going to go for RVA's army. Perhaps really struggling to get a decent enough standing army to deal with this. It's amazing to think how vulnerable it is to mounted troopers though. I really do feel like the Confederacy troopers are what's needed. See that the air is coming over and it's threatening to bomb this army into oblivion, but Brat is on the way and he will be able to clear this up, I would imagine, because there's a lot more fighters for him than there is for Frost. These units emboldened by that are trying to come over and get some snipes during the chaos. Quite a little bit of losses there for RVA, just to back off a little bit. I need to see the Mounties, man. Not a single strike mech. Yoda's gotten a lot of ground here now, and these strike mechs are going to help when he pushes up with the Jedi. A couple of bounty hunters out to spy things as well. It'd be really great if Frost stopped with the bombers and stuff and just made Crusaders. If Raphael can't get Mounties out, because the Crusaders as well can clean this army up. And they couldn't just meat shield for this army as well. They could really do a lot. You could influence like sort of both fronts really well with them. Like, they require a lot of strike mechs to deal with, or a lot of troopers. Now the trade's quite vulnerable here and they're going to take a lot of damage. So it's on to Raphael to just hold as long as he can. But this is going to get really annoying. The air now, like, killing his workers and destroying his income stream. Shield here. I can't believe RV has to come and reinforce this site now as well. Some Mounties, again, Naboo! How many forts do you have, buddy? one fort. There's Naboo. Dear me. They're going to lose their trade. They set up another one. What kind of distance is that? Where are they going? Can't see. Is it somewhere in the shields? Ah. The new trade. Rat being annoying as possible with the air, getting as much damage as he can. However you try to hold here, you can't dedicate any units to this really. They need to find a way to deal with the army. What happened to all the strike knights? Not that many. Nah, there they are. There's still quite a few. So Crusaders isn't an option for Bradley. Again with these Mounties in the air, it's just water against rock. These are not advanced Mounties, like they don't get them, I don't think. These shields will go down though because they're exposed, so this is buying some good time for them. Harvey is struggling a bit. And he can't get pushed off because this is the new trade now, right? Gotta hold this. And we gotta stop this army here on this side. Some strike mechs from Brat. Try to do a bit of damage. But harassing the economy is not really what he needs to be doing just now. He needs to be getting something that stops this. Him and Fry Up need to be preventing this push as much as possible. Stopping the income isn't going to change anything just now because it doesn't delete these units from the map. It just stops the more coming, I guess. But they're still going to push. And now they're getting into the farmlands. There's some Jedi, which is nice. I think he's got quite a few because if you can see all the units that he's converted there, that's good. His army struggles with that a little bit. And it's going to require coordination from Frost as well to bring his bounty hunters over. Sentry post to try and reveal them here. More Mounties just dying in a ball. Where are the Crusaders? We want Crusaders. Some air from Frost here. Brat can't really afford to make so much air just now because he's making all those Jedi. But the A-mobiles from Fry Up are at least going to support this push. But I really wish he wasn't just making A-mobiles and he was making like actual stuff to hold this push. Here's the Jedi again. They're going to go for more conversions. And they can slowly whittle this army away, which is good. But they will at a point probably reach a critical mass of strike mechs, bounty hunters and such. Mounties again, just running into the eco. Is Frost not trading? There's a few. Doesn't seem like an awful lot from him. I think he should be one. He should have a lot on trade, so he can make Jedi. Here's some Jedi from him now. We're going to try and influence this side. This army is it's thinning out quite a lot. Here come the Jedi from Brat though. If he can convert his Jedi, the sort of first strike here, whoever can convert the most Jedi sort of wins. Because you can convert a Jedi and then use that to convert another Jedi. And it'll snowball quickly out of control. Now this is going to be really difficult for Raphael to deal with here. It's particularly he's got these assault mechs as well. You can try and hide them from the Jedi. Nothing stopping Yoda here though. With these Jedi down. It's almost like a base trade. A base race. They need to really just break through this side. This is the choice they've made. They're going to hope that the pawns and the sort of terrain here just slows them down so much. A few units from Fry Up to maybe delay things, but they're going for it here now. Pushing up as much as they can. This is what the Jedi's purpose is, just to sort of support the armies Convert the big ticket items, or big ticket units rather. You can meat shield shots as well while the units push up. And then the units they convert will tank fire. There's a lot of delays it can do to like a group of units, them having to turn round and shoot at something, or turn round, move into minimum range for it and shoot, etc. It causes so much disruption. These Mounties getting in there being annoying, but just imagine if they were Crusaders. I'll never stop harping on about it. It sickens me. Don't know if Raphael can't afford shields or has just chosen to never make them ever again. But they're really needed right now. He's just given up so much ground to be safe with his army. Just don't feel like Yoda's pushed up too much now. He's got on top of some of the traders here. Need a new spaceport. They should maybe put one here, where it's walled. Take a while for him to get there. The pathing would be quite safe. We don't really have much to stop this army. The Jedi are looking to get in and around. I think they're going for the spaceports now. So they can convert them and then delete them. And then they won't be able to trade. There's the Mounties out. Could do some decent damage to the Jedi. Holy crap. That is a blockade. Good on the other hand, getting through here now. Not really any resistance. Some air from Frost, try to get brats here. There's a lot of A-mobiles just shooting at him though. And his units are stopping to shoot at the ground units, because for some reason that's what they do in their patrol targeting. Horrible. That's a bad trade for him there. More Jedi coming out onto the field now as well. They're so cost effective at this point in the game. And in a scenario like this as well, they're absolutely tip top. Some bombers from Frost here. I just don't know who's going to get the better of this base trade. I'd say the team with the most Jedi, which would probably be Brats and RVAs at the moment. Fry up here trying to do some damage, but again he's fighting these units in the shields. Could probably just walk up to them actually, minimum range. Could just walk them into the army, and then this comes forward. Oh my god, what is going on here? They're trading at this angle. Interesting. These Mounties are just getting rallied in, killing stuff. Raphael going for a push here. Maybe just testing the waters. Getting some decent damage on the army here because there's just not too many units at the moment. RV started putting resources into cleaning up Yoda's push. These guys have been left vulnerable, now the Jedi are on top of them, and there's nothing really. Look how many Jedi there are now. All that trade income's built up. Gonna try and convert it. Give him more units to use, and then he can push with those. Yoda is still rallying units here. I think at this point, he's gained a lot of ground, sure, but he needs to start amassing here now. Or really in the centre where Frost's base is, because this area is completely vulnerable. And it's where the new trade is now. This army's up here, so he's got time to sort of rebuild here and then push in. And this army is almost manageable now for Raphael because he moved all his resources up here. You can see now that the Mounties are coming out as well. So we'd like to see Yoda build his army here now and push in the centre. You could just leave the top of the map like an option for later to do a bit of harassment. The Jedi are coming down now though, there's so many of them. We'll definitely be able to influence this. Could probably convert half this army. There's not enough bounty hunters out. Be very cautious with them. They are getting sniped. They're maybe rebuilding the spaceport up the top there now. They get in that centre though, because if you do get through, if you do carve through the centre, then you've got two arcs. Like you've got this from Raphael, and then you've got this from the rest of the team, threatening to just basically flank the armies. Don't know if Raph should be pushing up though. The threat of those Jedi is very real. It could make things horrible. Like all that artillery could just get converted. It's got a lot more bounty hunters out now, which is good. Frost, you can't do that. This army's just not doing anything now. That's really, what is this? How did this happen? The Jedi here trying to convert, but he's gotten some good anti-Jedi stuff out now. Getting the repeater troopers in. It's a real threat them pushing from this side though. The Jedi can get round and be annoying. Yeah, this rebuilt some units, but it's almost like he's run out of money or something. He just doesn't seem to have a lot out in the field. Oh, the Jedi coming. Taking down some artillery. Didn't get these cannons though. Now, these artillery are doing an awful lot of damage. We certainly can win. Brad's got so many Jedi. It's a bad trade. No, I'm concerned that he has all his artillery up here, and he knows there's like 30 Jedi, and he's got all his anti-Jedi down here. Very risky. There we go. This is all getting converted. Here from Frost looking for traders. I was getting a bit of time to rebuild things here. Frost killing all these workers, try to steal the carbon. Air from Brat, gonna clean up Frosts. Back on the bombers, it seems. Oh, Grenadiers, great. Now this is the Confederacy unit composition you want. Just lacks shields. You could widen this up a bit as well. Spread the units out. Get the mech destroyers to focus on the assault mechs. Pushing up here because, let's face it, he hasn't been putting a lot of resources in the bottom for a while. He's had them up the top here to try and just hold Yoda as well. Not really sure what Fryup's up to anymore. He's not really rebuilt anything in his economy. Kind of just dead. He says GG. Trying to leave. Don't think it's over at all for his team. These strike mechs looking for workers. He's built them in a secret little spot that he's still alive in, near his original base. These Jedi out of position, just dying for free here. That's not good. Some Jedi from Frost. At least when you convert the air, they will be the same type as yours. Just op army. We can move through. I don't think there's anything to resist it. I think RV might have lost his army up the top there. Didn't quite catch that one. These strike mechs though, wow. It's like a firing squad. So much carbon just being lost. And then all the Nova that they would have brought. So Raphael going to push forward again. Against RV's endless shields. Fryup says he has nothing. I can believe that. He doesn't seem to have rebuilt any of his workers or anything, or cargoes or anything like that. A real shame because he's the Confederacy, gets the really nice traders and stuff. So at this point it's kind of just RV pushing, Brat has to support him with the air and the Jedi. You can definitely go assault mechs though, because Frost doesn't seem to make very many Jedi, and he tends to lose them when he does as well, because Brat just gets to convert them for free. Two Jedi getting shot there. So an arc that you can go around and convert stuff. Like this cannon, the assault mechs and stuff, if he comes around this right hand side. Sending some air over, just going into advanced turrets though. Oh my god, Brat, what are you doing? You made it out. It was very risky. This shield goes up, that's nice. That cannon's down. But it doesn't have its own shield yet, so we need to be quite quick to defend it. All this air from Frost going onto the cargoes. These guys are not doing anything. What are they up to? They're just chilling. They're not on patrol. A lot of air from Frost here. Raphael threatening to push. Brat's saying it's over. I don't think it's over. I think they could win this game. I don't see anything to stop this army at the top here. RV does need to make some units up the top here, I think. Jedi from Frost showing up. Right over here defending this position. Needs to convert these Jedi when they come in. Because they've let this top bit go, the play now is just need to brute force down the south, crush Raphael's army, and then base trade. But if enough of these stay alive and the Jedi are still out, they can definitely do it. Because it's such a cost-effective army. Need a little bit better coordination between the two of them. I mean, these guys could convert this entire bloody army. Really. Just comes forward and then he pushes at the same time. So much carb over here. Definitely need the south. The Mounties threatening to come in. At least a lot of his houses are hidden underwater. Fry up, rebuilding. Oh dear. This could be the end. With all these bombers coming across. A lot of his conversions are on cooldown. They're going to kill some of these shield generators, that's for sure. See, they're busy converting all these buildings. There's some air there. Did Frost not bring fighters with him? Oh dear. Just kill them for free. There's a Jedi from Frost. I think it's gonna die though. Bam. Wait, did he actually steal it? He did steal one. Right, the army from Yoda pushing up now. So many bounty hunters. I think Yoda could be getting involved down here now though. Because they just need a bit more units down here to make it seem hopeless. Convert. Convert it all. These are just not going to cut it versus this many assault mechs. These Mounties are going to town. In a very weird situation. There's still loads of carbon up here. Wow. Wow. I haven't eaten too much carb. I think Raphael's got much. eco though. Got loads of traders and stuff, but back on the air cruisers. That'll definitely stop the army pushing. Jedi can't convert that. He doesn't really have much fighters anymore. Bounty Hunter's out of position though. See a lot of them going down to fighters. There's no anti-air with the army. He just needs to take his time. But going to desperately try and build this turret. Oh, there's one here though. Kill these workers though. Oh, you need to kill that last one. Don't let him get it up. That should hold things though. Oh, Harvey doesn't seem to have any units anymore. Just these. I think it might be falling apart. These 3 air cruisers are going to be such a huge problem now. And they're going forward. They're looking for an angle, sneaking round to hit this army. How they go? Ah, those guys are so low. One goes down. The air's going to try and come over and kill them, but a few aim beals here. Basically a 1-to-1 ratio. The Jedi going to convert them though under the air cruisers. Whoa. And all these mechs have died here as well. It's a little bit out of control. I imagine both teams are very stressed out in this situation and feel like maybe the other team's winning. Because it's a long time to play. You gotta do so many little things and rebuild parts of your eco and stuff. Babysit your units. Coordinate with your teammates. Gets draining. But these guys still have their trade up. So Brat and RV are kind of just on a timer. It's really how effective can the Jedi be? For all these units. Oh, shoot the air cruiser. I don't want to be trading the conversions in the air right now. I need to grab these artillery. Some really nice shots there from the assault mechs. Doing a lot of damage. But these artillery are getting some shots off now, and the air cruiser as well with some area damage. And I don't think RV can replace these if he loses them. Let's kill that army. Nothing to stop Yoda up the top here though. A lot of units just fucking around, like these bounty hunters. These advanced troopers as well. Frost getting some kills with his air. Not really anything to stop the air anymore. I think they've just sort of bled out. They're running out of money. Still just the Jedi on the field. Maybe take a while for them to kill them, but they just need to corner them, and then it's done. Cool game though, a lot of back and forth, but I'd say it looks pretty hopeless now. Coffee's gotten cold casting this. An hour and 15 minutes. So much work as well to like micro all the conversions. They're just exposed. They can't replace them, are they? You've got good tenacity and fighting spirit, but it's time to admit defeat now. because you've run out of money. Bounty hunters and air cruisers will put an end to the Jedi. Just shot Frost's bounty hunters. What was that? I think he was shooting out in the air actually. They didn't seem to do any damage to them. Must have been hit a fighter. But those are his fighters, so I don't know. I don't know what I witnessed actually. Or maybe one was converted and it shot, I guess. Yeah. This is almost good from Frost because he's just throwing air and air and air, and it's eating up all the conversions for the Jedi. So they can't take anything from the army. And there you have it. Team Yoda, Frost, and Raphael, the Sombrero Hombre, have won that game. It's quite good though. There's a lot of base trading and such. Don't often see that. Definitely a very good one there. So I'll be nice and I'll give you the wee score screen as well. Let's see what's going on there. Who gets the medals? So RVA and Yoda, the MVPs of each team. Brat with the most buildings lost. Well, tied with Fry-Up actually. Rare. 224 shared. 196 units were converted. Raphael the largest army. Frost killed both the most units and lost the most units. He lost more than he killed. A lot of money was sent from Frost to prop up our Raphael. Frost for the king economy though. Most food in Nova, and he still couldn't afford Crusaders. How about that? A lot of research out of those two lads as well. And a surprising worker high, considering they had the largest army. It must be 2 different points of the game. And Frost, the only one at the hollows really there. Fry-Up for a very brief time. So he got 14k extra Nova. A good game though. So if you enjoyed that, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Try to post one maybe once a week or so, if I'm so inclined. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.